What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ahmed Essa, and today we're talking about a topic for On The Spot that is quite interesting. It's about a guy called Muhammad Ali, no, not the boxer, Muhammad Ali, from Manchester's Roads to football history Somalia. Muhammad Ali is a non-league defender and driving instructor who started in a team that recently secured Somalia's first World Cup qualifying win. And yeah, I'm just going to give you the details about it because it's one interesting story. For those who don't really follow the World Cup qualifying in Africa, they beat Zimbabwe 1-0 to record a first World Cup qualifier win. Ali is thousands of miles away from his home. He's in Manchester, obviously. That's nowhere near Somalia. It's not like a train ride. You know, he lives very, very far away. He's a central defender, currently playing for Curzon Ashton of the National League North. And like I said in the beginning, his driving day is being a driving instructor, and then he goes out and plays football, which is crazy to me because Africa's always interested me as a football continent. You have someone like Sadio Mane, for example, bringing it to light with his honesty with his iPhone, and all that, and people love that. And now we've got this guy Muhammad Ali who shares his name with a boxer and almost shares his inspirational story because now he's playing international football whilst playing non-league and whilst teaching kids how to drive, which is really, really weird. I've got the article up in front of me, so I'm just going to say some facts about him as well. I'll link the article below, and feel free to check him out and support him because this journey is amazing and I wish him all the best. But summing up quite nicely, Ali's journeys began in Netherlands after his family fled their country during the Civil War, the Somali Civil War that ran from 1991 to 2006. He was born and raised in the Netherlands. However, he's always identified himself as Somalian, like a lot of people do anyways. A lot of people would do that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are born in Germany who and other countries around there, but it's always their parent countries they identify with, which is fine, and which is great for him as well because now he can play international football. He played there for a season, semi-pro in Holland for a team called Alphens Boys. I hope I've got that right. Forgive me, Dutch fans. I'm not really good with my Dutch language. It was located in the western area of Holland. He's learned and adapted playing there. He came to Manchester 7 years ago, so he was roughly 18 when he came. For the first 6 months, he wasn't playing. It was very tough, to hone his skills because obviously, getting to feet with a new country. Imagine you've come from another country, of course it's going to be hard to adapt to the culture, the language, the lifestyle, and the last thing on your mind sometimes is playing the sport you love, and ironically that's the only thing you want to do, but sometimes you got to get your feet grounded first and then play on from there, if you pardon the pun. But this is where Ali's story becomes almost like a Rocky story because he faced a fight to find employment because obviously he didn't have any qualifications, he didn't have anything like GCSEs or A-levels. So, he had to go back from route one, which is insane to me because, so many people give up on their dreams nowadays. But, he got his qualifications and then he got a job working in a factory for £50 a day. And, that's crazy to me. This kid doesn't go, I'm going to scrap this. He went, I'm going to work in this job. I'm going to try and get football as well. And that helped Mohammed. He only worked on Sundays initially and getting paid for football, which gave him roughly 150 quid a week, which a lot of people say, wow, that's pretty good. But, got to think it's transport, helping out his parents' bills, if he's got any, going out. It probably wasn't that much money for him and he probably had to sacrifice quite a bit. However, he was going gym every day, really working on his gains, if you want to say something like that, really trying to get into football, back into it. And then one of his friends said, hey, I own a driving school, why don't you teach some kids how to learn how to drive, or anyone who wants to learn how to drive? And he went all for it. He went all out attack almost, if you pardon the pun there, because he went for it and he needed a job that was quite flexible with his football, so it worked out quite nicely for him. And it's good to see that because there's a lot of people who are probably watching this who want to get back into football but their job won't allow them to. There's always a way to find out flexible employment so you can carry on with football. Don't ever feel like you got to sacrifice your hobbies for a job, even if you don't like that job. You got to find out time to make for yourself as well. And lastly, it's in the news article below if you want to read the whole thing. But this is what makes me laugh because obviously when footballers come back and, from international break, they probably got the hot tub, the villas, the nice lifestyle. However, Muhammad Ali, unlike anyone else, had to go back to his job as a driving instructor. And apparently, he was having a lesson with a student, and the student was like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And he asked him if he was a footballer. He said yes. And he's like, you play against Somalia. And the kid and him talked about how I think he watched the game and he knew the captain from Zimbabwe, which is crazy to me because apparently he lives in Manchester as well. Don't know what level he's playing at, but if he's playing at non-league as well, this is great. And to conclude, this is really helping non-league football now because we're almost getting international stars in it, which is crazy. I know it's only Somalia and places like that, and people might slate on it and hate on it, but it's still a country and you're still representing it. And to be part of a historical win as Muhammad Ali was, it's a pretty cool story. And I'm not saying people. It's not like the 5,000 to 1 Leicester City story, but it's still an interesting story, an inspirational story. So, yeah, please like, subscribe, and share. Credit to Muhammad Ali for doing this. Thank you for the person who sent me this this article. Please, support Muhammad Ali in his career and support non-league football. And thanks for watching, and hopefully see you guys soon. Cheers.